Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off.
What up, what up, what up, football fans? Welcome to another episode of The Blitz. I'm your host, Big C. This is brought to you by Game Changers Media. And you know the co-host, Michael Jones. What up, Mike?
What up, man? Might as well just give my social out too, bro. No, it's all good. Chilling. I'm gonna stop calling out numbers of the show. So I know we're on 54, but welcome to another episode of The Blitz. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I did not post the links in the chat. I'll do that right now if you want to stop by and say hi.
I did it.
Oh, okay. Copy that, boss. Ahead of me. You're ahead of me. I'm doing pretty good. I appreciate you running, even though it was all Dolphins Blitz you ran there on what was it, Friday? I appreciate you covering for me. Had some family issues, and I'm back though, baby. I'm back. How are you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Yeah, no problem. I like when you call out the number of what episode we're on.
Okay.
It gives me an opportunity to reflect how far we've came, and I know it only goes up one episode at a time, but
it's all right.
I'd be forgetting where we're at sometimes. I'd be forgetting.
We're at 54, brother.
Awesome. Yeah, not much new here. I went and purchased a couple collectibles to show you.
Oh yeah.
See the jersey?
Oh, is that Merino?
It is.
Oh damn, that looks flashy, brother. It looks flashy. I like it. No, is this? Oh, he can't hear me. Duh. Oh, he gotta show us. He's gotta show his Dolphins all. Oh, look at that. Look at that, y'all. Oh yeah, I give that a 10 plus. It looks good, bro.
Back at the bottom.
Oh yeah. Nice addition. Even though the Dolphins suck. Dolphins stink.
Also, I grabbed a Javon Holland autograph jersey.
Damn. Dolphins suck.
Like that orange color,
Yeah, look at you shining. That's gonna look nice up on your wall, brother.
Well, I might end up. Yeah, I got to get that hung up. I couldn't find the hammer for the life of me earlier, so my wife bought one, but I haven't gotten a chance to put it up yet. Javon Holland jersey. I might end up doing some kind of giveaway on the channel for it. Even though he's probably not going to be a Dolphin very much longer, but who knows? Maybe he will be. Still a nice piece to have, Nice orange jersey, that orange crush jersey. We haven't worn them in years. We haven't worn them in years. A lot of people have their opinion on them. I kind of liked them as an alternative jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Something different, something fresh.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the basic Giants jerseys. I think they have that color rush, or they have that whatever style that other thing was with like the maroon red, and I didn't really care for that.
Yeah, I didn't care for it either.
It just doesn't look right. I mean, it's not terrible, but definitely seen better.
I mean, I like the Giants jerseys and uniforms of the 90s, the early 90s, late
Well,
80s.
I missed their alternate red. Like that was like my favorite. I always loved when I turned a game on, they were wearing their red jerseys.
See, I didn't overly care for them. I like the ones that Lawrence Taylor used to rock, the all white with that blue and red. The ones that are similar to the Buffalo Bills colors, you know.
So you can see all the blood on it.
Actually, someone had I was going to tag you. Someone had a Lawrence Taylor throwback Mitchell and S on sale for cheap. Been a nice
little addition, huh?
Yeah, hang up on your wall. A nice addition to it.
Yeah. Do you think the LT looked good in the white because he could hide the coke, or was that just?
Oh. I mean, it can't hurt. It can't hurt. It
couldn't hurt, right? Sorry, listen, shout at the Giants.
Listen, I take LT coked up any day. That man, one of the greatest, if not the greatest defensive player of all time.
I'll take him.
He is definitely up there. He definitely went through his struggles in life, I guess. I mean, some call it struggle, some call it a good time. You know.
I think that's what makes it. I think that's what makes the Waterboy movie funny when he's sitting there trying to tell the kids don't smoke crack. Like, all right,
he was all right with the coke. It's when he started smoking crack. He didn't have a problem until he started smoking it. But yeah,
I can't.
To each their own. To each their own. We all go through our own struggles. Some different than others, but hey,
yes,
what
sir.
can you do?
You can't do nothing.
Just continuing the add on to the backdrop. You know, I got some other Merino stuff that I got put up, but I seen this available and
just couldn't say no. Couldn't say no. I know.
Well, I had seen the Howland jersey. He had suckered me in. I had seen the Howland jersey, and the Howland jersey, it was super cheap. You know, obviously, you know, Howland's probably not long for the Dolphins, so he was selling it super cheap. So I jumped on it, and I was like, "Oh, is that the real price? I'll take it." You know, it's certified. It comes with the card. It comes with the sticker. I was like, "I'll take it." He's like, "Well, I got some other stuff for sale too." And I was like what? He's like, "Well, I got this," and he sent me a picture of it. I was like, "Ah."
No, I like that Merino jersey. That's definitely.
And of course, that's considerably more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd hope
Dan
so.
Marino, Hall of Fame, autographed. And then when I went and picked it up, he's like, "Well, because I told him I want a couple full size helmets." And he's like, "Yeah, I can't help you out with that." He had a miniature Dan Marino signed helmet, one of the little plastic ones.
Yeah.
And I don't overly care. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to have, but I want an authentic full size helmet.
Right. It'd be nice if you start like a little shelf with mini helmets or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have them lined up, something like that. But I do too. I want to get me a full size Giants helmet as well.
And then when I get there to meet him, he's like, "Well, I do got this, and it's an autographed, all white, full size Dolphin helmet with the orange face mask signed by Tua." He's like, "But I need $400 for that." I was like, "Man, listen,
Tua's getting enough of your Dolphins money."
yeah. Maybe I'll call you if it was signed by Marino, you know. But
yeah,
I mean, I might still jump on it in a couple of weeks. I don't know. I don't like to spend money. I'm not a money spender.
Hey man, they can't blame you there. Trust me, I was looking at some Eli Super Bowl helmets, and oh man, they're like $700-800. But man, they got at least the top 10 people on the team during the time signed it. So it's like, but I want to so bad, but I'm looking for a car, man. Everybody probably heard the car issue last week or whatever, a couple weeks ago, but I'm still looking for a car. So I got to put that in the side.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know if I don't think we've been live since I did the show with Doug, right?
No, we haven't been live since. Well, I haven't been live. You did the last live we did was together was Monday, I believe, because I wasn't here
Yeah,
Friday.
I went out with him Thursday or Friday.
There you
Yeah. So I went on with Dougly Do Wrong. Go check him out if you're not subscribed. If you're a Dolphins fan, you're probably subscribed. You're probably, but great guy. That was a great opportunity. We talked a lot of Dolphins off camera, but we did a quarterback tier list, and there's a couple of those. And tonight we're going to discuss NFL free agents and where shall they end up? Free agency is less than a month away. Well, it's just about a month actually. Teams right now, you're not hearing a lot of news, but over the course of the next month, you're going to see certain players released, and players getting their contracts renegotiated, because general managers out there making as much cap space as possible before they go out and sign these highly priced free agents and try to improve their team, try to fill some of the voids on their team before the NFL draft. That's why it's kind of pointless to do the mock drafts before free agency, because team needs can change. Like right now, the Miami Dolphins need 2 starting guards. They need 2 starting safeties. They need defensive line. They need a corner, a backup quarterback. But they could end up addressing 2 or 3 of those needs in free agency, and now that's not an option for the first round of the draft. You know what I mean? Where you would right now, a lot of people got offensive guard going to the Dolphins in the first round. Well, if we sign 2 guards in free agency, we're probably not going offensive guard in the first round. So a lot is going to be decided here in the next month, and then you can really start getting into the mock drafts, which we'll eventually do. But right now, we're going to discuss some of the top free agents and where we think they're going to land and what kind of contracts they could possibly expect. Man, there's a bunch of lists out there talking about who's the number 1 free agent in this class. Some I see Javon Holland, some I see T. Higgins, some I see Trey Smith. I guess it just matters and who's got who ranked where, but there's a lot of players out there that can definitely be franchise changing players. And people like teams like the New York Giants, for instance, everybody's got them taking quarterback first round. Who knows? Maybe they go out there and throw money at one of the free agent quarterbacks, and they don't address the quarterback in the first round. Maybe they decide to go somewhere else. So again, free agency has such a huge impact on the draft. But let's get into it. Let's discuss where some of these team players are going to go. And listen, if you're in the chat, hit us up. Let us know what you think. And let's get it.
Let's get it.
So, Mike, you got the list, right? You got the list.
All right. The one I see number 1 a lot is T. Higgins. T. Higgins, wide receiver. That's what I got right now.
Well, T. Higgins, wide receiver.
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
You're going to hear about him because that boy is about to get paid.
Yeah.
T. Higgins, wide receiver, a great wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals would love to keep him. You know what I mean? He makes that perfect combo with Jamar Chase. That's really what that makes that offense go. Jamar Chase, by far the number 1 receiver over in Cincinnati. But would Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow be as successful without T. Higgins on the other side? I mean, there's a real possibility we're going to find out this year.
Yeah.
T. Higgins believes he's a number 1 receiver. He's got the build for it. He's got the talent for it. We'll see. You know what I mean? Just because
Yeah.
someone is got the perfect build, they got great speed, they got great hands, doesn't mean they can handle the load of being number one receiver. You haven't had the
Right.
pressure. You haven't had that pressure yet to deal with in your career because Jamar Chase has been on the other side of the field. Number one receivers in this league are making anywhere between $30 and $35 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he wants to fit himself in that niche.
Mm-hmm.
Is T. Higgins a true number one? Man, it's really hard to say. I mean, I wouldn't say that he's Jamar Chase.
Right.
I don't think he's as good as Jamar Chase. I don't think he's good as Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think he's not as good as Tyreek Hill, but I think he's better than a Jalen Waddle, who you know what I mean? Jalen Waddle lots of times is considered a number one receiver for the Miami Dolphins, but he's the number two because Tyreek's there. I think you take Tyreek off that team. I still don't know if Jalen Waddle's a number one. And I kind of had the same feeling towards T. Higgins. But Jalen Waddle got paid. Someone's going to pay T. Higgins. It's about supply and demand. A lot of teams got salary cap room. I could see a world where T. Higgins returns to the Cincinnati Bengals, but that's going to tie up a lot of cash for them between the quarterback and two receivers when they got a whole hell of a lot of holes on that defensive side of the ball. Now, I did see where Joe Burrow said that he'd be willing to give back some money. You know, and that's what that's what them great quarterbacks do. Players that really want to win. You know what I mean? Tom Brady did it for years. For years, he took lower contracts so teams could be put around him so he could win. And that's why he's got 7 Super Bowls. You know what I mean?
That's why you play the game, though. You know what I mean? You can get all the money you want, but most people don't see what they make in 1 year. So it's kind of crazy that some of these quarterbacks don't just do that and help their team out. Because, man, that quarterback salary is always what can really kill your team. Quarterback salaries, your top wideouts and your top defensive players, like that kills the salary cap. So.
Well, I mean, the money these guys make nowadays. Well, if I got, is there really? I mean, there is a difference between 45 million and 40 million, or 50 and 45. Mm-hmm. You know, it's $5 million a year. But in reality, are you ever going to spend? If you get a 4-year, $220 million, are you really going to spend $220 million in your life? This isn't like back in the day when NFL players would go broke. You know what I mean? After they retire, they go broke. The money's so extravagant these days that's not happening anymore.
Right.
You have to be a real dumbass to lose $200 million. You know what I mean? You got to be some kind of retarded to lose $200 million.
We're making very bad decisions.
To lose. I don't know if you can make that bad of a decision. 200 million,
right?
You know what I mean?
Pretty bad. That's a lot of money. It adds up, though, man. It adds
25.
Up.
Let's say you live an extravagant life. 100 of that will buy you fucking. Excuse my language. I gotta put money in the swear jar. 100 million to buy you 3 mega mansions, all the cars, jewelry you want. You know what I mean? Like with just 100. Then you got an extra 100 that you could literally live off the what is it called? You put it in the bank.
The interest.
Interest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You could literally live off the interest. And these salaries aren't even including endorsement deals and things of that nature. You know what I mean?
Signing bonuses and hidden money incentives and
So I mean, for these, I don't see the big deal of giving back $5 million to make your team that much better. You know what I mean? But we shall see. Other landing spots. A big one is the New England Patriots.
Right. because they
You know,
got
matter
hella
of
cap
fact,
space.
what we should do is take a look at who's got the most cap space real quick.
The Patriots. Ooh, the Patriots.
All right, let's take a look. I mean, mind you, this is going to change. The people that are at the bottom of the list got to get under the salary cap regardless.
Yep.
And again, teams are going to move up this board because they're going to make moves to give themselves cap space to make moves. But we're going to take a look at who's got the most right now. Right now, we got the New England Patriots. They got a whopping $121 million. $121 million.
That's
Listen,
insanity.
the Patriots that's a lot of money to spend. That is a lot of money to spend. The Raiders, $92 million. The Washington Commanders, $79 million, which is crazy because Washington's already so good. Jaden Daniels already so good.
Hey.
You telling me you got $80 million to spend on players for him and a draft? You know what I mean? Washington's going to be nice next year.
I know. I wish we were sitting somewhere pretty like that. Ugh.
You got the Chargers 65, Chicago 64. We're not going to read through all of these because you're not going to remember them. I'm not going to remember them. Let's take a look at who's in trouble with the salary cap. The New Orleans Saints, who are such a terrible team, are $60 million over the salary cap.
That's insanity.
Insanity. That's what bad GMing. That's what pushing contracts into future years will do to you. Man.
And it's really sad. It's really sad too because New Orleans was such a good team for so long, and they've just been steadily going downhill. How do you mess up that bad or do something that bad to get that far in the hole? It just bewilders me. I don't understand that.
They got one Super Bowl out of it, but man, that Super Bowl was even a long time ago though, so I can't even say that the salary cap is messed up from that. You know what I mean? It's like you kept people around far too long, and they just very bad.
They kept trying to. It's like they kept trying to fix the team with one or two different players and spending all this excessive money. It's just that's a big hole. That's a really expect them to be shitty again.
I mean, $60 million is 3 top end contracts. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
But when you go and sign players like Derek Carr, who's a Band-Aid, and you give him all that money, you know what I mean? That's what puts you in positions like that. Cleveland, no surprise, they gave Deshaun Watson a ton of money. You know what I mean? A ton of money, and it's just not working out for him. $34 million over. Seattle 19 over. The Buffalo Bills 18 over. Atlanta 10 over. The Miami Dolphins 7 over. Dallas 5. Tampa Bay 3. Kansas City's got 5. We'll look at the Super Bowl champs. Kansas City's got $5 million in cap space. You know, Buffalo, you know, they had their chance last year, and they're $18 million over right now. And they'll get under the salary cap, and they're going to be able to make moves. They'll move things around. And I believe that Josh Allen's probably up for a new contract, honestly. He's probably underpaid because he signed his deal a few years ago. So now Josh Allen's probably the 10th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. So he's underpaid. So, you know, Buffalo's going to be limited in what they can do. Kansas City, they got $5 million in cap space right now. Baltimore 7. See where Philly's got $24 million. That's what good drafting will do. That's what good drafting. The Super Bowl champions with all that talent on their team still got $24 million to work with because they know how to draft. Yep.
Exactly. Which means they're probably going to be even more dangerous next year.
Yep. They're going to be even, you know what I mean? That's because they know how to draft, though. You bring in the young talent that are on their rookie deals and they contribute to their team. Green Bay, $37 million. That's another very good team that's got a bunch of room. San Francisco, I'm surprised they got as much room as they do. 43, because they got a lot of superstars over there. Cincinnati's got 44 million. Like I said, they could make a push to bring Higgins back.
Mm-hmm.
Your New York Football Giants, 47 million. They're not in bad space. They're not in a bad spot.
Nope. It gives them enough money to get a reliable bridge quarterback, like you were saying earlier, which means they don't really have to take a quarterback. If they can get us through another year and we have a shot at Archie Manning or something, I imagine we trade around as much as we could to get him next year. So,
well, if you're just getting a quarterback for next year, I mean that's not going to cost you much at all. But
right.
if you go and you try to sign one of the upper echelon free agent quarterbacks, I mean you're going to sign them for more than a year. You're probably not. You know what I mean? Pittsburgh 50 million, Detroit 55 million, Minnesota 58 million. Again, teams that are drafting correctly. Detroit has built their team through the draft. So, yeah, I mean, you know, these teams are going to be the teams that are going to, you know, when we go through this list, you're going to see a lot of these names come up multiple times because they're the ones that got the big money.
Right.
But let's get started. Who's the number one free agent?
You said
T. Higgins, you said. So
yep.
I'd say I think he's going to be a New England Patriot. I'm going to say his contract's going to look like I'm going to say a 4-year, $128 million contract. 4 years, $128 million.
Yeah.
That's an average salary of $32 million. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't jump over the top guys, but he's one of the top paid wide receivers in the NFL. It gives Drake May a legit number one wide receiver, and he gonna get his money. He gonna get paid.
What about the Chargers? I mean, they're in desperate need of some pass catchers.
Yeah, I mean, there's
and
definitely going to be other teams involved. Like the Chargers are definitely in the market. Do they jump out the window and spend most of their cap space on one player? I think Jim Harbaugh knows they got more than one area need. I think Jim Harbaugh likes to build his team through the draft. I don't necessarily think he goes out and gives any wide receiver $30 million, you know what I mean, in free agency.
Right.
I mean, your New York Giants could be a possibility. There's other people. The Giants need another receiver on the opposite of Neighbors. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah,
hopefully they focus on the offensive line.
I think the most likely landing spots are New England or somehow Cincinnati finds a way to bring them back.
Right. All right. Who do you got for second? I got Trey Smith.
Smith,
guard,
offensive guard, Kansas City Chiefs. Man, this is another one. He is going to be expensive. There's a bunch of teams that could use help on the offensive line, Miami Dolphins included. I think it's too rich for their blood, the contract that he's going to be expecting. I can see Trey Smith getting a 5-year, $105 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, 21 something a year?
Yeah, sounds about right.
I can see him signing with the Bears. The Bears need to protect Caleb Williams. I
definitely struggle behind that offensive line.
I think Trey Smith is definitely gonna go to the highest bidder. He's not really caring about whether that team's winning right now, or he just wants his money. It's understandable, and I think the Bears are gonna offer it up. They know they got to protect Caleb Williams.
Yep. And then Ben Johnson's there now, so and he's good at building the offensive line. So
Well, yeah,
look at
Detroit had one of the best offensive lines in football, so he knows what it takes to succeed.
So he can go in there and give Caleb Williams the best opportunity to prosper. So I mean that would honestly be a really good spot. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Chris Godwin, wide receiver for the Bucks.
See, Chris Godwin's someone that I could see maybe Jim Harbaugh taking a crack at over with the Chargers. I think Chris Godwin's going to be considerably cheaper than T. Higgins. He's a little bit older than T. Higgins. Plus, Godwin's dealt with some injuries, but Godwin is a good receiver. He's a team player. He runs precise routes. He is a heck of a receiver. I could see the Bucks really trying to bring him back. First and foremost, I mean, Mike Evans is getting up there in age. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think the Bucks probably should address wide receiver in the draft, but I can see the Bucks making a strong push to bring Chris Godwin back. But I can see him landing with the Chargers on maybe a 3-year, $70 million deal.
Right.
I gotta get my calculator up so I can.
I mean, yeah, there's that option, and then he could follow Liam Cohen, his offensive coordinator for the Bucks, and go to the Jags because
the Jags got a bunch of money.
Yep.
but the Jags got that Brian Thomas Jr. He's a young stud. He'd be a nice combo with Brian Thomas Jr.
Yep.
But that's an average at like $23.5 million a year, which I feel like is fair value for Chris Godwin. It's not going to be a 4-year deal just because of the injury concerns. So I can see a 3-year, $70 million deal for him.
Money. Motherfuckers get paid. All right. Let's move on. Javon Holland, safety.
Javon Holland, safety. This is a touchy subject for me. Javon Holland, listen, his career started out great. He started out great. I was super happy when we had drafted him. He played phenomenal for us the first couple years of his career. I thought he was a real I thought he was a superstar in the making. The last couple of years, he's dealt with some injuries, and he just hasn't been the same player. Man, I would like for him to come back to Miami, but I think his price tag is going to be too rich.
Right.
And it hurts that because we need 2 safeties. You know, if we're going to bring in a safety, especially in free agency, you'd want to bring back your own. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's the top of this class. He's the top free agent safety in this free agency this year. I just think he's going to be too much. I think he's going to want too much money. I could see the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers need a safety bad. Carolina Panthers got money to spend. Javon Holland would be a nice piece over there. Right. I could see him getting a 4-year. Gotta get the calculator out.
The calculator.
Beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop beep. 4 years, 76 mil, maybe $19 million a year. If the market's not hitting like that, and he's only getting 13, 14 offers from people, $13-14 million a year offers. If I was the Dolphins, I could maybe reach out and get that. You know what I mean? And bring them back.
Right. But
anything over 14, I feel like you got to let him walk. I think Carolina would be a good landing spot for Javon. Yeah. The Giants too, though. I think the Giants need a safety. I could see him signing with the Giants.
Definite
I've heard a little bit.
possibility.
I've seen little rumblings about the Giants. How would you feel about having Javon Holland?
I mean, I don't mind. That's definitely an area that we need to get looked at. Our safety positions definitely kill us. Our upfront defense isn't terrible. We're pretty good at stopping the run fairly well. But yeah, the safety, I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against getting us a nice safety, and then obviously seeing what we do in the draft. So yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. I don't think I'd mind. As long as he's productive. I don't know how long term I'd go with. I'd maybe go a 2-year deal and see where he's at after that. But that could end up.
He's definitely going to sign a longer deal than 2 years. 2 years not
Yeah.
going to be enough for him. He needs some of that long term. I mean, he's super young. This is his first contract after his rookie deal.
Right. So they're going to.
So I mean, he hasn't had no major injuries. He's just had little nagging. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. All right. Yeah.
But
I
it's
mean,
not. It's not you got to be scared off by or nothing like that. You know.
it's definitely a position that we do need to address. So it's definitely a possibility.
I know, but would you like it? Would you be excited for it? You know what I mean? I mean,
I'd
he
be
is
excited.
he is a young, good player. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, I'm going to be excited anytime we get any kind of player who's going to benefit the team. Yeah, I mean, I'd be excited about it, absolutely, because that means that the Giants are actually taking a step and filling the gaps that they need to. I really want them to focus on the offensive line first, but other than that, we still do need a decent safety or a corner. So we'll see. We'll say, man, I wouldn't be against it. Definitely not. I think he's good. All right. I just won't say he's great because he's really good because he's a Dolphin. You know what I mean? Just like messing with you a little bit.
oh,
yeah. All right, where are we going next? All right, how about DJ Reed, cornerback?
DJ Reed, cornerback. He's been really good with the Jets. I actually feel like he played better than Sauce did last year. I would, we got an opening at corner now too, so I could see the Dolphins going and grabbing him. Some other teams that need corners though are Jacksonville. Jacksonville's got a lot of money to spend. The Packers, they got a bunch of money to spend, and to be honest, I feel like your New York Giants. I feel like your New York Giants could be a landing spot.
Yep, we need a corner. We just talked about that.
He's a really good corner. Like he's a really good corner. I'd say he's probably a top 10 or 12 corner in this league. Man, yeah,
that's a hard one.
I could see him getting maybe a 3-year, $50 million deal.
Right.
I mean, corners are one of the most expensive players in the league, and they're super important. And yeah, I could see the Giants, Packers, and the Jags. The Jets don't really have the cap space as of right now to bring them back. Yeah, I can see the Lions. I mean, like I said, there's going to be even more teams than.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be able to name everybody that. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Lions are definitely a possibility.
Yep. That's what's tough about this time of year. Everything's so rumory. You don't know what's happening.
Commanders could be an option.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Let's see. Next, Stefon Diggs.
Diggs coming off that injury last year that kept him out a lot of games. I don't know. Whoever could use a number 2 receiver. I mean, this is another one I can see the New York Giants. You know what I mean? On a short-term deal, maybe 2 years, $30 million, something that's not going to break the bank, but be a reliable route runner for you. Diggs is a very good receiver when he's healthy.
Yep.
Now he is getting at that age that receivers slow down. It's last year in Buffalo, and we've seen it in his past. He is a drama queen. He gets in his feelings, but he's a hell of a player when healthy. He's very talented, a good route runner. I can see the Giants. I would like to see the Green Bay Packers add a receiver with a big name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even during the Aaron Rodgers years, it's like they didn't bring in anybody that had a big name. They were never about bringing in the flashy free agents. And I think that would help Jordan Love to bring in a veteran receiver. They got a bunch of young guys over there, but to bring in a veteran guy that can catch the ball, runs good routes, I don't think they'll do it. So I don't feel like it's a real possibility, but I would like to see it. Maybe
he's definitely a good second. And it's really tough because he's coming off an ACL injury. That's one of those finicky things to where, and like you said, he's at the age where you start to slow down, and then it had to be an ACL. So teams are going to be pretty. Man. Yeah, teams are going to be cautious with that.
Maybe the Ravens. Yeah, I mean, I want to say more than a 2-year, $15 million a year deal, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd have to agree. Okay, next we have a quarterback, Mr. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold.
Listen, he surprised the hell out of me last year. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think anybody when the quarterback went down for the Minnesota Vikings I felt like their season was over. I thought it was a wrap. I thought they'd finish in last place in that division. And here comes Sam Darnold out of nowhere looking like he deserved to be the number 1 pick in the draft. Sam Darnold had a phenomenal year. I mean, there was times last year that his name was involved in the MVP discussion.
Over 4,000 yards passing, 35 touchdowns, 12 picks, 102.5 rating. I'd say that's a pretty good year.
Yeah, I mean, the Minnesota Vikings won a lot of games. They had an opportunity all the way up to the last week of the season to clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC. He had a fantastic year. And now it's do you think that he can build on that and create another year like that? Can he come back and have another blockbuster year? Can he build on what he created last year, or is he gonna fall back in the mediocrity? Is he gonna fall back into that? Man,
it's a tough one, right?
He's probably the biggest named free agent quarterback on the market. He's going to get the biggest contract. He's probably going to get, this is a crazy number. He's probably going to get $10 million more per year more than any other quarterback in free agency, because he's just that much above everybody else. There's not another name on the free agent market right now that is got the starting potential that Sam Darnold does. That he's going to get paid big because this NFL draft has a weak quarterback market. I mean,
Mhm.
after the top two, you know, there's a bunch of question marks on all the other prospects.
Right.
I could say possible landing spots, maybe the Raiders.
The
Um,
Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders, the Titans, because
Yeah.
I don't feel like Will Levis is the answer there.
Right.
And I've heard a bunch of rumblings that the Titans aren't prepared to take a quarterback with their number one pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd have to fill that position somewhere. And then I'd like to get your opinion on this. The New York Football Giants.
I mean,
This takes them out the running of a quarterback this year and probably
Yep.
next year.
Yeah. That's tough.
Now it's
I mean-
not guaranteed because Atlanta had signed Kirk Cousins to a big free agent contract, and they still
Mhm.
took a quarterback in the first round of the draft. So, I mean, just because you take Sam Darnold this year doesn't
mean we
stop
can't.
you
Yeah.
from drafting a quarterback. But I mean, I don't see the sense in that.
Yeah.
And now Atlanta's stuck with Kirk Cousins when they want to start their second year player quarterback. You know what I mean? Now you're stuck with all this money that you can't get rid of. And I think it was a dumb move on their part.
I mean, if we could get away signing a 2-year deal on him, I'd say it'd be
He's not
okay with
signing a
me.
2-year deal. You're gonna have to get a 3-year.
Yeah, but I mean, you're hoping that he's gonna be good again. We talked about that a lot. Whether he was when was Darnold gonna collapse? When was it all gonna fall apart? And just because it didn't totally fall apart doesn't mean that he's a new guy. Doesn't mean that it's gonna be.
Well, yeah, but that's why you said 2-year. He wants a 4-year. That's why he'll take a 3.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? He's meeting in the middle.
Because I would say because I'd still like to take a quarterback if all possible. But if we didn't, I mean, I wouldn't mind Sam Darnold. He looked really good, and sometimes you do got to take a chance because you just never know. Nothing's ever guaranteed. Maybe he does, but we still don't have an offensive line either. So there's just a lot that goes into that. But he's I say he's a great quarterback. He's not the top 5, but he's up there, really close. But after the season he had, it's hard to just say, "Oh no, I wouldn't consider that." I mean, I can't be stupid if I said I wouldn't consider Sam Darnold quarterback for the Giants. So I wouldn't be against it. I just want to, as long as the team is looking like they are moving forward and not going to destroy this because Daybell and Shane's jobs is on the line this year, then I'm okay with it. As long as they don't sit there and mortgage away the rest of our next 3 years, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think Sam Darnold could be a nice fit with them. I could see a 3-year, $120 million deal. That's $40 million a year. That's a lot of money, but it's less money than what top tier quarterbacks are getting. It's less than what they gave Daniel Jones. So,
right.
I mean, if it's you feel it's an upgrade over Daniel Jones, right?
No. Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. I really do. Yeah, I wouldn't be against it. And honestly, if they didn't decide to take a quarterback in the draft, I wouldn't be upset with that either. As long as they fill that gap with somebody that's gonna, like an Abdul Carter or I doubt we'll get Travis, but Hunter, but a guy like that, because Travis Hunter, like, if we weren't going to pick a quarterback, I'd want Travis Hunter just because of his athletic ability. And like
you
I
keep
said,
talking about that offensive line. Build your offensive line up, kid.
I know. It's just hard. It's hard, man. It's hard. You want
you go and you sign the big name quarterback. You go out and you get yourself a top end offensive lineman. You know
there you go. I mean? There you go. You're right.
That's not the sexy pick, and that's not the pick. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I used to hate when we took one of the big and uglies. You know what I mean? You always want the fancy wide receiver, the big name star, but I mean that's what's smart. You know what I mean?
That's what great teams show you, is that that offensive line means. I mean, look at the Eagles. That was that all offensive line. So you know, I couldn't hate. I couldn't hate. I just like the thought of having Travis Hunter, I think. You know, but there's never guarantees. We talk about that all the time in the draft. There's never a guarantee. You can get somebody that can get hurt. Career could be down the shitter after that. So yeah, you're right. I should probably think offensive line more. Are you ready for the next one?
Yep.
Aaron Jones, running back. That's
Aaron Jones, running back. I could see him just returning to the Vikings on a 1-2 year deal, maybe $12 million. You know, nothing huge. I mean, he played good for them last year. Why create? You got a rookie quarterback. Well, he's not a rookie anymore, but this will be his first time starting. Why create an extra hole? Bring in a familiar face. Bring in a veteran. I just see him staying with the Vikings.
All right. Russell Wilson.
Well, the obvious answer here is the Raiders. You bring them back with Pete Carroll. They don't have an answer at quarterback right now over with the Raiders. He's a game manager. I mean, he's not going to be crazy expensive. He's going to be more expensive than he was last year, but I can see the Raiders. I think the Steelers are going to move on. I think they're ready to. They realize that Russ isn't the answer. He's not going to get them over the hump when they got to go up against Lamar Jackson twice a year in their division, and they got to try to get past the Chiefs and the Bills. So I don't see him going back to the Steelers. The only place I could see him going and starting any games is the Raiders. Now he could go and back up Tua Tagovailoa, you know what I mean? And to me, I would think that'd be attractive of all the backup quarterback positions because you know there's a pretty good chance that you're going to get an opportunity to start at some point. You know what I mean? There's a higher probability that you're going to start with the Miami Dolphins if you're the backup quarterback than probably any other team in the league. But yeah, I think it's Raiders or bust for Russ.
That is the end of my list, brother.
John Riss says Vegas sounds dangerous. I thought you had a list of like 100, bro.
I thought I did too, but evidently I didn't. I can.
Well, I got a couple other.
You got Zach Bonds from the Eagles, linebacker.
Zach Ron, Eagles, linebacker.
Khalil Mack.
Zach Brown, I could see just re-signing with the Eagles. They're not going to let that kid go. I can see him getting a 3-year, $36 million deal, $12 million a year. I think. What up, you guys? What show you guys come from, huh? You guys walking in the door at the same time? Who are you guys watching? TD was live. Doug was live. What's up?
What's up?
Yeah, I think Zach Brown ends up back with the Eagles. Another guy that I think is going to re-sign with his team is Nick Bolton, linebacker for the Chiefs. I think he gets somewhere in the range of a 4-year, $56 million deal. Let me see some other guys who I could see going places.
Josh,
you guys got any people that you want to know where you think might have an opportunity to go somewhere? Josh Sweat, the key contributor in the Super Bowl. He had the best game of his career in the Super Bowl. There's nothing like having that. You were on full display. You know what I mean? Yeah,
for sure.
What a perfect opportunity, perfect timing. You're becoming a free agent, and you have the biggest game of your career during the Super Bowl. He's been a productive player for the Eagles. He racked up 33 sacks in his first 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
He's played in 104 games, so he's got experience. He's only 27. He's going to get more than $20 million a year. I can see the Cardinals. The Cardinals need a pass rusher. The Falcons need a pass rusher. The Titans need a pass rusher. I can see one of those three teams going after Josh Sweat. You think Justin Tucker? Is that what that says? Tucker? Are you talking about Justin Tucker?
That's what I was wondering.
You making a funny? you making a funny?
I think that's what it was. I was like, Tugger.
Vikings free agent corner. Well, Byron Murphy. Is that who you're talking about? Byron Murphy? Armando? This is another area that doesn't really have a lot of depth in free agency. Byron Murphy's a good player. He's going to benefit from free agency being weak. He's dealt with some injuries in the past. He's got 79 career starts though. He just turned 27, so he's got that on his side. He's not going to sign a record-breaking deal or anything like that, but he's still probably going to get somewhere between 15 and 17 million a year. I can see the New York Giants, the Packers, the Jaguars, and the Miami Dolphins. Definitely on the table for cornerback Byron Murphy. Another Eagles player that's a free agent. You want to talk about these Eagles players, Super Bowl contributors, players that know how to win. Milton Williams, defensive tackle, Philadelphia Eagle. Guys that play in the trenches.
Yep.
He's a young guy. There's another guy that for the Dallas Cowboys, he's a defensive tackle too. He's got a weird name. Osa Odagadawara. I'm curious to see which one of these guys gets the bigger contract. Regardless, I still think it's over $20 million a year. I don't know which one I really prefer. He had Milton Williams had a great postseason performance. He was fantastic in the final two games for sure. Man. Yeah, I'd say 3 years, $22 million a year. I can see the Lions. They need help up front. The Vikings and the 49ers for Milton. The kid from the Cowboys. I can see the Bengals. The Bengals need hella help on the defensive side of the ball. And the Washington Commanders. Washington's got a lot of money. They got to spend it somewhere.
Yeah.
They gotta spend the money somewhere. Ronald Stanley, offensive tackle for the Ravens. He's a big name offensive tackle. I still think he's got some left in the tank. He'll make a team way better up front. I can see because he's a little bit older, he's going to get a shorter term deal, maybe a 2-year, $42 million deal, so $21 million a year. There's quite a few startings. The offensive line is probably the deepest position in this free agent class.
Good.
I could see possible teams being the Patriots. Patriots need offensive line help. The Commanders, you got to protect Jane Daniels. And, if Teron Armstead and the Miami Dolphins can't work something out, I mean, it's counterproductive because, they owe Teron Armstead around the same amount of money, but Armstead can't stay on the field. Ronnie Stanley, at least if we pay him $21 million a year, we can expect him to play all the games. So I can see the Dolphins as a possibility for him.
Well, since the Jets are obviously moving on from Aaron Rodgers, I was curious where you think Aaron Rodgers would end up if he decides to play.
Oh, Aaron. Yeah, that's the fake spike game. Good eyes, True Blazer. Can we make sure we hit them like buttons, please, and thank you while you're here? Actually, you know what? If you can find 5 people and they tell me that you brought them in, 5 people to join this channel, to join
Subscribe.
the 3 channels, I will offer this up for a raffle. Now, listen, don't tell me he ain't gonna be a Dolphin after this year. Shush! This Orange Crush Javon Holland jersey, autographed. Authorized.
Certificate of authenticity.
So you get 5 people to join the channels and say that you had them join. I'll enter your name into a drawing to win this jersey.
Yeah.
But yeah, Armando says the safety from San Francisco. Listen, I can see him being a possibility for the Miami Dolphins. Maybe the Colts. The Colts need a safety. I can see Justin Reed, the safety for Kansas City Chiefs, being an option for both the Colts and the Dolphins. Obviously, the Giants need a safety. Let's see. Mekhi Becton, guard, Philadelphia Eagles. I can see him getting a 4-year, $56 million deal. And I could see him going back to the Eagles, possibly the Dolphins, though. I could see the Dolphins poaching Mekhi Becton from the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, when free agency hits, you want to go and get the players that have proven they can be successful with successful teams, so they can bring that level of play, bring that intelligence over to your team, and know how to play the game the right way. You know what I mean? And hopefully it rubs off on your other players. So I mean, that's just touching the iceberg. There's a million other guys out there that are going to be free agents. We'll discuss it more, but I just want to touch on some people. We're gonna end up start doing some mock drafts. If you guys got questions about players and who you think, where you want to know where they're going, or it's not a obvious science or anything, but I'll do my best to give you the best answer I can possibly give you.
Yeah.
We got to think up some stuff to do because, until free agency gets here, the mock drafts don't make sense to do like that because people's needs are going to change. People's salary cap availability is going to change. People are going to have more room. People are going to have less room. Yeah. Armando says it's time to build from the draft and build some continuity. There you go. Throughout the team. Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, Armando, that's what the Miami Dolphins would do. It's just rough because we got a front office team and a coach that aren't long for this world. They don't have the luxury of time to rebuild. That time came and passed.
Yes, sir.
That time came and passed. So they gotta make moves to benefit them now. And like I said, there's a bunch of moves that Chris Greer can make that's not gonna alter our future too much. Listen, we can go out there and we can offer Jalen Phillips a contract extension. I think he's due something like $15 million this year. Last year, 5th year of his rookie deal. We could offer him a 2-year extension at $15 million per year, $14 million per year. Give this year as a signing bonus. And yeah, it's risky to offer Jalen Phillips a contract extension coming off injury, but we're gambling. You know, high-end pass rushers typically cost $20-25 million a year. Why would Jalen Phillips sign that? Because he's unproven. He's never performed like a top end sack artist. You know what I mean? He's never met the criteria. He's never met his full potential. So there's a good chance that he might take that deal. I mean, he's had season-ending injuries back-to-back years. He retired from college due to medical issues. Why, you know, him taking a 2-year, $30 million deal, that at least guarantees him $30 million for the rest of his life. I think I'd jump on top of that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, sir.
What up, CB83? What up? What up? What up? Win is just as bad. Yeah, I would bring Isaiah Wynn back. I'd bring Isaiah Wynn back for a backup. I'd sign Mekhi Becton. I'd sign probably Zach Martin or Will Fries. And I'd address the offensive line through free agency. That way, the draft, we don't have to worry about drafting an offensive lineman in the first round. I wouldn't necessarily not draft one in the 2nd round or the 3rd round. I just would eliminate it from the 1st round. You know what I mean? What's going on, King Jamie? What's going on? Make sure you all hit that like button for me. There's 9 people in here right now. There should be there's 10 people in here right now. There should be at least 10 likes.
At least 10. At least 10.
I got some questions for you, you guys. There's a couple big names going around the trade market right now. Where do you think these players land? Let's start with Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, does he get traded? And if so, where does he end up? He requested a trade. He wants out of Cleveland, which is understandable.
So obviously he wants to win.
Yeah, he said that he wants to win. He does want to win. Armando says Kansas City. That defense would be ridiculous.
That'd be crazy.
You put him next to Chris Jones. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I know Micah Parsons was recruiting him to Dallas. You got Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett on the opposite sides of each other. That'd be crazy. But then again, I've heard Micah Parsons might get traded, so who knows? The Browns aren't letting them go cheap. Nope, they're not. Nope, they're not. They're gonna try the fleece. They're gonna want at least a first and 2 seconds. At least a 1st and 2 second round picks. I feel like they're gonna ask for 2 first rounds plus. Do they get it? I don't know. I don't know if they get it, but they're gonna ask for it. Man, oh man, if I was the Washington Commanders, I'd consider it.
For real.
I'd consider it.
For real.
What's your 1st round draft pick this year is bottom of the 1st. It's almost a 2nd round pick. You add a Myles Garrett to that, you know what I mean? To that young team.
Yup.
Man, that'd be filthy.
It's gotta be.
The Patriots aren't ready to contend. Everybody said the Patriots are, even Patriots fans. And
Mhm.
listen, Patriots fans, I give them the benefit of the doubt. They won a lot of games over a lot of years. They won a bunch of Super Bowls. But they swear to God, they're just going to, we got a ton of salary cap space. We got Mike Vrabel as our coach.
Mhm.
Slow down. Slow down. Because who wants to go to New England and play?
Yeah.
Tom Brady's not there no more. That's what was attractive about New England.
Yep.
Is that I get to go play with Tom Brady and have an opportunity for a Super Bowl. That's why you had the Randy Mosses going there. The bigger name players that did go there. Who wants to go there now? I don't care how much money you got. Who wants to really go there? Now, will you get some money hungry people that want to go there? Yeah. But if you're telling me I can go to California or Florida and make $2-3 million less a year, but I don't got to go to New England and live, I'm not going there, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
not
want to
going there.
No, man. I live in New York and I ain't going there, bro. I'm tired of this cold shit.
I'm not going there.
I'm tired of this cold.
Listen, Mike Vrabel, I don't know. People put him on this pedestal, and I'm not ready to announce him as one of the great head coaches in this league. First off, you got fired. Second of all, did you make the Titans a decent team? Yeah. But you rode on the back of a prime Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? You had a prime Derrick Henry to rely on. I'm not going to sit there and give you too many flowers. Not yet.
Couple short of a bouquet.
Not yet. Yeah, lots of people got money, King Jamie. Lots of people got money. Everybody besides maybe the Saints and the Browns can get cap room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just, I don't know what their record is against Vrabel. What's that matter? Because you won a game.
Oh no, I want to go somewhere warm.
Mike Vrabel isn't necessarily a good coach. Mike Vrabel hasn't won anything either.
I'll give him a couple years, see what happens.
Nobody's got fear. Believe that. No one's afraid of Mike Vrabel.
Oh man, I would not want to go up there and freeze my ass off. I'm cold now. Screw that. I'm ready for summer.
Yeah.
I'm ready for summer, dude. It's like an ice skating ring out in the yard right now. There's just ice everywhere.
Yeah, and nobody's got any salt neither. It's crazy.
Yep.
All right, folks. We're about to close it down. We'll see you again Friday. Make sure you check out the Finn Posse podcast Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Remember, refer 5 friends, and you can have an opportunity to win an autographed Javon Holland jersey.
Ooh.
Yeah. The closer we get to 1,000 subs, we'll probably be giving out another $1,000. So, like, share, comment, subscribe, help us out.
Yeah, tell your friends. Tell everybody.
Give what's due. He hasn't won anything. If he wins something, I'll give him due. I'll give Andy Reid due. He's won championships. He's won the conference at least. Mike Vrabel has not even won a conference. He won some division titles. Congratulations, you're the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills. Stuck in the whole holding pattern. Buffalo Bills, a team that gets there but just can never get over that hump. But yeah, thanks for kicking it with us on episode 54 of The Blitz. Please remember, like, share, subscribe, comment. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Yeah, we'll see you Friday. I'll be here. Remember, any Giants fans, send them over to my page, Gridiron Giants Podcast.
Yeah,
with your host,
Mike Jones. I don't like that fucking dude. I think he's a fucking troll. Sorry. This is my page. You ain't gonna come troll me constantly. Like, fuck you.
Right. So that's where I'm at. Close this baby out.
Sorry about the language, folks. We'll see you again Friday. Make sure you check the Dolphins, the Finn Posse podcast, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Tomorrow we're gonna pretend we got $50 million in cap room and we're gonna spend it.
We're gonna spend it good.
We're gonna spend it so the next day we can do a mock draft. So yeah. We'll see y'all later. You know what it is. We love y'all. Thank you so much for the support.
Later.
And Fins up. Peace.
Go Giants.